Well, hello. Yeah, weather's great. We have got a heck of a day for you. This is the same job site I was at a couple months ago when we did the boat ramp through 550 feet of line. We're back. So what we got today here, ,400-ish feet of hose. Just one short length of 3-inch pipe there to stabilize everything off the back end of the pump. We're doing a real wet slump here, so we're just going to keep it with small line. We're not doing a lot of volume, so we're going to break off of this clamp. We'll cycle through the hopper, get the first mud nice and juicy for the prime, and then we'll throw a bucket of bentonite in this hose here. Some nice fat bentonite, extra thick, as such that it doesn't run ahead of the concrete because we're priming downhill. And then we will continue on our way. I'm not going to try and prime this in one shot today. I've had a little bit of bad luck, if you want to call it luck. Lately the materials have been a little bit coarse, so my confidence in doing a full pull at 400 feet is slim to none. So we'll prime out here, so about a halfway point, about the 200 foot mark. And we'll throw in another bucket of bentonite. We'll carry on down. Got the old hose caddy in position here. Carry on down. And we're going to do all these little pilings. There's like 60 of these pilings. Some of them are 50 feet deep. And because there's water in a lot of them, we have to piece together 50 feet of hose, hang it from that excavator, drop it all the way to the bottom of the piling, and fill from the bottom as such to displace the water and bring it up out of the top of the piling, in theory. So it's going to be a heck of a day here. So all 2.5-inch hose. The pilings that we don't have to drop the hose down into, we'll just pour right out of the 2.5. The stuff we are going to drop into, we'll hook the 2-inch hose up. Reason for that is the 2-inch hose is less susceptible to sucking in on itself under its own weight when lifting it vertical with the machine. So that's what we're going to do. So it's not a lot of volume. I mean, it is 5 trucks here, 5 partial trucks. It's just going to be a challenging and kind of different pour, I guess. So we'll get cracking here on the prime. I probably won't film that. Done that a bunch of times now, but I guess the only key point here is we've kept the bentonite a little bit thicker, like I said, so it doesn't run ahead of the concrete when priming downhill. So get the mixer slumped up here, get back up the hill. I think I already climbed this hill like 10 times today. It's really awesome, I swear. Anyhow, we'll get going here, check back in a bit. All right, let's see what we got. We'll throw that screen on once we've cycled through here. Work this first hopper full around, make sure it's nice and sloppy.
What do you think?
I like it.
A little more? Yeah.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah, it'll work. Maybe once we get it cycled around and we're hooking up, we can give it a bit more. Yeah. So we'd put a little bit of bentonite in our elbow there before we tipped it down. So we got a little bit of stuff in here that we can work around. Normally I dispose of the bentonite, but because this stuff is just getting puked on the ground, not super concerned about it. Yeah, just piss it up with the hose, just soak it right up. Good teamwork, guys. Way to go. All right, here we go. You want to run down to the end?
Not pouring the bed in here?
Just spread it out. We're going to put a fresh bucket in there. Just spread out the junk that comes out of the hose until we get good concrete. Oh, it's a little crunchy. Slow it down a bit. Sounds a little bit segregated. Just lay it down, don't pick it up until it comes through. Yeah. Sometimes picking it up like that can cause it to plug on the last little bit. Keep going. We'll go until we get good concrete. Good.
Kick it over? Kick it over?
Yeah, just here, I'll kink it over. Yeah. Yeah, I'll fold it back. You help them with that. Nice and thick. Whew. One sec. Whoa. Okay, again. Save a little bit just in case. Beauty. All right. Okay, pump on. Go for it. Hold up one sec, Sid. Okay, pump on. Okay, buddy, just follow it to the end now. Okay, Sid, hold up. I'll go down to the end. Okay, pump on. First couple buckets will be junk.
Yeah, that's what I got pointed out here.
I mean, you could hold it close by and then you don't have to spin it so far.
Sure.
Watch out there, guys.
Here it comes. Yeah, a little bit of bentonite.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Like me yesterday. That was you yesterday.
Money shot.
Perfect.
Okay. Pump off.
You can go a little bit in because you got the excavator pulled out, right?
This is actually working pretty good here. The our little hose caddy came in quite handy there for cradling the hose, keep it from kinking on itself. So we're dropping the hose in these pilings about 40 feet. Lift it out with the machine and on to the next one. It's actually working out really, really well. Only gotta go about 50 more to go here.
Stick in there, you'll see it when it comes.
Okay. Well, let me get a picture of this. You want a picture of my Tinder profile? Oh, I see.
Tinder profile. Oh man.
That's how he treats
It's
LinkedIn.
gonna be a wild weekend.
Okay.
This is before and after shots I'm done with you.
Dudes and fat chicks love concrete pumping.
Hop on?
Pump on.
Got my phone in the hole.
Pump on.
What's going on? 7 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Keep on pumping.
Okay, we should probably just have one of us do a stake off here. I'll do a stake off here for now. And then
All right, so we are about a third of the way done here. Bit of a process, but we're getting there. We got a good system here with the hose caddy and the strap that we finally got it all dialed in and sorted out. It's got about 20 of 60 pile caps done. Because we're pumping so slow here, the line's not really moving at all. Just did a couple simple little tie-off points on the way down. Just the hose can't pull itself down the hill. Who put the clamp on like that? Pet peeve. I hate that. Anyways. Whew. It's a bit of a hike up here. Legs are burning. As you can see, she's barely even working. It helps that it's downhill a little bit. Nice wet mix. Here we are over on the B side. We are exactly 51% complete here. But no, things are going well. We're actually getting a pretty decent system here for pulling that hose in and out of the piles. Those ones there are the ones that are 50 feet deep, I believe, and we got to get the hose almost right down to the bottom of them. And when we get back this way a little bit, the piles aren't quite as deep and it gets a little bit easier, a little bit faster as we go. So, yeah, these guys are all done on this side. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, so far, it's pumping really nicely, actually. Everything's going quite well. considering the nature of the pour. So Sid has an idea. For the sake of, what do you want to ask? What can we do? What do you want to do? For the sake of views, can we fire the sponge out of the hose at 80 psi? I actually thought about that. We'll pin the excavator thumb down on the end of the hose and see how far out into the ocean we can get it. I gotta think about this. It's not the right thing to do, but it's definitely the cool thing to do.
Sky Highway, that's how we finish every day.
Yeah? Yeah, those are the old days though. Things have changed. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for a conventional controlled 15 psi blowout. Alright, so I got my hardware all set up for the blowout. Because my blowout cap is a 2-inch cap, and we're running 2.5-inch line here, what I'm going to do is take a 3-inch to 2-inch reducer, connect it up in reverse fashion to my 3-inch to 2.5-inch reducer. I'll throw the cap on the end there, obviously. 2.5-inch sponge ball right in there. And we're going to push this 2.5-inch sponge ball all the way through the 2.5-inch hose, and we're actually going to push it all the way through the 2-inch hose as well. Normally I wouldn't do that just because the pressure built up, squeezing that ball through the smaller 2-inch hose, reducing down, yada yada yada. But I'm going to see if we can get the excavator to hold the end hose in position for a safe blowdown. So anyhow, let's back this next truck in and carry on. So that's built right into the pipe.
Yeah, and then that stays in the bottom, and then inside that is a drill bit that gets pulled in and out.
And it engages that drilling bit, and then they just screw together. Yeah, it looks expensive.
Hey, Scott.
I'm right behind you. Keep it PG. I'm filming.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to say? Concrete pumping is really super neato.
I love this job. It's fantastic. So glad I didn't go to university.
Yeah, that too. You hear that at home, kids? Post-secondary schooling is for fools. Ideally, I would have really liked to have a safety sling on that one hose there. We do have the clamp safety pin, but I would like a sling as well. This is a little bit of a afterthought, the positioning of the hose cradle there. So, and we just brought the one sling that goes between the two hoses, which are now being submerged into the piling. Not going anywhere, but it's always nice to be on the extra super safe side, so that would be one thing I'd do differently next time. I'll bring another sling. Typically we don't really carry a lot of safety slings on the line pump. It's kind of a boom pump accessory. And excavator friend just lifts that hose up, keeping it out of the concrete as the piling fills up. You'll see there's lots of water in these ones. Once this thing gets near the top, there's gonna be a lot of water coming out. you'll still see we got, those are 25-foot hoses, so we've still got about a hose and a half hanging in the piling. So about 37.5 feet of hose submerged in the steel piling. Machine can only lift up so high, so once he runs out of elevation, they start to slew over, and they'll drag the hose over and pull it out by hand. At that point, they're only lifting like a half a hose, and it's almost pushing itself out of the concrete anyways, just from the pressure. Comes the water, and there's lots of it. He'll use his little probe there, and once he feels semi-solid concrete, they are to height. Just like that, done. Up, away, on to the next one. Oh, take a little top up first. And just about there. On to the next. And a little dropper down in, I believe. We're discussing something down below here. Oh, here we go. Like that, on to the next one. So we've only got about 25 more of these things to go. So last 5 or 6 holes. I'll go up top and put some delay set in it and slump it up. All right, so we're getting down to that time. We'll get a nice slump on this concrete, put some retarder in it. So we got lots of time to play around blowing it out of the lines if need be. And yeah, we'll cut to that scene when we do the blowout. The money shot, we'll call it. In there nice and deep like. Excellent. Nope, that's That's a 2-inch cap. Is it? So what we got to do, get a little funky here. Take that 3 to 2, put it on inverted in the reverse order. Okay, I will go down below and make the calls. We suck back this 3-inch sponge through a pipe. Line it up a bit. Alright, air on, air on. I'll let you know when we're 4 hoses out from the end.
Yes. We're at 30 PSI.
You can probably give it 50. Just set it to 50 and leave it there.
50 PSI dropping.
Is the ball moving?
Well, I'm down to 6 hoses now. Yeah, we're already through first 1, 2, 3, 4 holes are empty.
Okay, keep following it because I don't have any movement at the end of the hose here right now. All right, tell me what's wrong with this picture. What's wrong with this picture is it's so dark you can't see the picture. So my last video there, or last scene, we were blowing the lines out. Unfortunately, because of the steep grade, the concrete ran ahead of the sponge and segregated all throughout the line. So we had to break them apart and drain them all by hand, which yeah, it wasn't a good time. But every day is an adventure in concrete pumping, is it not? I've actually never had that happen before, blowing out 2.5 and 2-inch line. So there's a first for everything. But I think a little bit wet on the last bit of concrete, obviously. We should have maybe kept it a bit drier, and it would have kept together in the hose a little bit better. Not the end of the world, but we fought it for about, shoot, probably an hour, breaking it apart, reconnecting, trying to blow it out before we finally pulled the plug. So anyhow, made for some good adversity, good experience, good learning, something to learn every day. So that'll be it. You know how it goes. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. too tired for the enthusiastic third like, share, subscribe. So like, share, subscribe. Over and out.